Hey there, Meteorologist Kaylee Bowers here. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but let's take a look back at weather from Thanksgiving's past because some interesting stats that I think you may want to know. So we've had 14 Thanksgivings where temperatures were 60 degrees, if not even warmer, but 25 of those, we saw temperatures 50 to 59 degrees, but overall, Thanksgivings were somewhat cool, somewhat mild for most of us, between about 30 to 49 degrees. We've seen 100 Thanksgivings. 50 and 50 make 100, but this is the stat that's very interesting. We've seen 11 Thanksgivings where temperatures were less than 30 degrees. That's below freezing for the high for that day. But how about our lows? Our overnight temperatures, our lows were less than 20 degrees. We saw 25 of those, but typically we see lows in the low to mid, even upper 20s. 59 of those, but 52 Thanksgivings where lows were in the 30s. But then how about this? 14 Thanksgivings where our lows were 40 degrees, if not even warmer. But I'm sure we can all think back to our childhood where we saw a soggy Thanksgiving. Now, typically, we see some dry Thanksgivings, but most of the time we've seen some kind of precipitation with those scattered showers on Thanksgiving Day, whether it's a trace to 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch, all the way over to 1 inch of rain. So most Thanksgivings have actually been a little bit more on the soggy side. But how about snow? Most Thanksgivings have been snow-free, but I definitely remember a couple of Thanksgivings waking up and seeing just a little bit of snow on the ground. Now, we've seen about 23 Thanksgivings with a trace of snow, 10 Thanksgivings up to an inch, and in fact, 9 Thanksgivings with over an inch of snow on Thanksgiving Day. But I want to take a look back at Thanksgiving weather just from the past 5 years. Last year was fairly mild, saw temperatures in the 50s, no precipitation at all. However, in 2022, it was even warmer with those highs in the low 60s, but we did see a little bit of rain. And in fact, we saw more rain just the year before, 1/4 inch of rain with highs in the low 50s in 2021. But in 2020, still hanging out in the 50s with a trace of rain, but 2019, we saw some cooler temperatures, highs only in the upper 30s, small rain chances, but also we saw a trace of snow in 2019. Now, as far as those extremes go, our warmest Thanksgiving we've ever seen was set back in 1896 with a record high of 68 degrees. So pretty warm, but as far as our coldest Thanksgiving for our high, how about that? 16 degrees set back in 1930. But as far as the rainiest Thanksgiving we've ever seen, how about that? Almost 1.5 inches of rain. Just a few years ago in 2010, we saw 1 3/4 inch of rain for that year. But as far as our snowiest, set back in 1902, we saw 2 inches of snow. So as far as the forecast goes for this year, well, for Thanksgiving 2024, here's what you can expect. Whether it is warm, cold, above average, below average, this is what we're seeing for the days leading up to Thanksgiving. Above average temperatures, but we're also forecasting above average rainfall on the way for those first few days of Thanksgiving week. And eventually, the WTOL 11 weather team will have your forecast as far as Thanksgiving goes. Again, whether it's cold, whether it's raining, or whether it's sunny. Of course, tune into the WTOL 11 weather team for the latest Thanksgiving forecast, but also for your daily forecast. Have a great rest of your day.